Welcome to another episode of The Bug Bite, hosted by your truly tech coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. In today's episode of The Bug Bite, we are going to be looking into this massive data breach, this social security numbers being leaked across the internet. We're going to find out what happened. We're going to watch a quick video where they're explaining what happened, and then we're going to go into an article that's going to be breaking it down more in depth. So, we're going to get into it. Do me a big favor, help the channel grow, subscribe to the channel so that more people can see that the channel is growing, and then they can want to subscribe themselves and get this amazing information that we are putting out on a daily basis. Like I said, I am working to provide you guys much more content because we do some amazing live streams, but it's not always easy to catch those live streams and go back and watch them. So now we're working on clipping them up so that you can see the different things that we're working on. You can join in, you can have some fun, you can learn a lot. We can do this. We can do this together, right? We can do this together, right? So as well, I have, we just uploaded our last sprint review, or we're going to be uploading our last sprint review from this past weekend. So you definitely want to go and check out the Patreon, techcoachralph.dev. You can see all of the stuff that we're working on and helping people grow in the tech field. And you can even get access to our full Scrum Night so that you can see the different ways that things work in the Agile environment. If you need one-on-one coaching, you can sign up there as well, techcoachralph.dev. We will run it up. We will win. We will win. All right. With that being said, let's jump into this. Let's get into this massive data breach. Things are going crazy right now. All right, so let's start watching this, and then we'll stop it and we'll get into this article. And this video is brought to us by NBC News.
Tonight, fears a massive data breach may have impacted billions of people across the globe, according to a new class action lawsuit, which means Social Security numbers and other sensitive information could now be up for sale on the dark web. So how did this happen? A company called Jericho Pictures, which operates as National Public Data, is a Florida-based background check company. NPD takes data from public record databases, national and state databases, and court records. It then sells that data to a range of organizations like background check websites, investigators, app developers, and data resellers. According to the lawsuit, in April of this year, a hacking group called USDOD breached NPD's systems and stole private information. The suit goes on to say in a post on the dark web on April 8th, USDOD claimed they stole 2.9 billion records of personal data and were trying to sell them for $3.5 million. That personal data includes names, address histories, relatives, and social security numbers. In a statement on their website, NPD acknowledges the breach and says, "We cooperated with law enforcement and governmental investigators and have implemented additional security measures. We reached out to NPD, but did not hear back." Since the information was posted for sale in April, other hackers have released different copies of the data, including a hacker known as Finis, who posted the most complete version for free in August, according to cybersecurity news site Bleeping Computer. Some good news, the database does not contain information from individuals who use opt-out services, according to the lawsuit.
This year has just been the year of the hackers.
But people on social media still panicking.
Biggest data breach possibly in human history.
As many fear their private data is up for sale.
All right, for more on this concerning data breach and what it means for you, I want to bring in cybersecurity expert David Kennedy. David, thank you so much for joining.
All right, so that is the overview of this massive data breach that it happened a long time ago, or a while ago, but it's just being revealed. It's just coming to the forefront. So we're going to get into an article to get a better understanding. Let's breaking down a little bit more. With that being said, let's jump into our article. So this article is brought to us by Wired.com, the slow burn nightmare of national public data breach. Do me a favor, like I said, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Help us grow, help us win. Help us share this amazing information that we're putting out day in and day out. All right. So social security numbers, physical addresses, and more, all available online. After months of confusion, leaked information from a background check firm underscores the long-term risk of data breaches. So let's see. data breaches are seemingly endless. Data breaches are a seeming. Oh my goodness. Data breaches are a seemingly endless scourge with no simple answer. But the breach in recent months of the background check service National Public Data illustrates just how dangerous and intractable they have become. And after 4 months of ambiguity, the situation is only now beginning to come into focus, with National Public Data finally acknowledging the breach on Monday, just as a trove of stolen data leaked publicly online. In April, a hacker known for selling stolen information, known as US DoD, began hawking a trove of data on cyber criminal forums for $3.5 million that they said included 2.9 billion records and impacting the entire population of the United States of America, Canada, and the United Kingdom. As the weeks went on, samples of the data started cropping up as other actors and legitimate researchers worked to understand its source and validate the information. By early June, it was clear that at least some of the data was legitimate and contained information like names, email, physical addresses, and in various combinations. The data isn't always accurate, but it seems to involve two troves of information, one that includes more than 100 million legitimate email addresses along with other information, and the second that includes social security numbers but no email addresses. Okay. There appears to have been a data security incident that may have involved some of your personal information, National Public Data wrote on Monday. The incident is believed to have involved a third-party bad actor that was trying to hack into data in late December 2023, with potential leaks of certain data in April 2024 and summer of 2024. The information that was suspected of being breached contained names, email addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers, and mailing addresses. So if you remember from the video that we just watched from NBC, National Public Data sounds shady themselves, right? The way that they're gathering the information from all these different government entities and things like that, and then they're selling that data to app providers. And so like with the way the data is moving around like that, it looks like there is a lot of shadiness that could be happening, you know? So it's very, very weird. I mean, oops. Make that a little bit bigger. All right. So where were we? The company says it's been cooperating with law enforcement and governmental investigators. NPD is facing potential class action lawsuits over the breach. And I mean, the class action lawsuit, yeah, definitely we see that coming. But for the headache and like all the headache people are gonna have to go through, it's terrible. We have become desensitized to the never-ending leaks of personal data, but I would say there is a serious risk, says security researcher Jeremiah Fowler, who has been following the situation with National Public Data. It may not be immediate, and it could take several years. It could take years for one of the many criminal actors to successfully figure out how to use this information. But the bottom line is a storm is coming. That's a fact, right? When information is stolen from a single source, like Target customer data being stolen from Target, it is relatively straightforward to establish that source. But when information is stolen from a data broker and the company doesn't come forward about the incident, it's much more complicated to determine whether the information is legitimate and where it came from. Typically, people whose data is compromised in a breach, the true victims aren't even aware that National Public Data held their data information in the first place. Like, if they have my data, I never knew it, which sucks. It does like it is messed up not knowing who has access to your data. But you know, it's like the place that they were getting data from, it's from your county officials, like things that you handle in court, all these public records that they're aggregating, and then they sell it off to all these other companies, you know. Let's see. So in a blog post on Wednesday about the content and provenance of the National Public Data Trove, security researcher Troy Hunt wrote, "The only parties that I know that know the truth are the anonymous threat actors passing the data around and the data aggregator. We're left with 134 million email addresses in public circulation and no clear origin or accountability." even in a situation where the data broker has admitted to being breached, as is now the case with National Public Data, the stolen data may not be reliable and may have been combined with other data sets and processed in other ways. Hunt found, for example, that many email addresses in the data set seemed to be paired with inaccurate personal information, and there were many duplicates and redundancies. So it says there were no email addresses in the Social Security number files, noted Hunt, who runs the website Have I Been Pawned, which allows people to search for their email addresses and to see which, if any, data breaches they appear in. If you find yourself in this data breach via HIBP, Have I Been Pawned, there's no evidence your Social Security number was leaked. And if you're in the same boat as me, the data next to your record may not even be correct. Let's see. So for people whose information was in the Social Security number dump, though, the risk of identity theft looms, forcing victims to freeze their credit score, scour their credit report, and set up financial monitoring services. Indeed, over the past few days, many people included in the data have begun receiving notifications about the breach from their credit report, their credit monitoring, and threat intelligence services. And while the stolen data is imperfect, researchers warn that every trove of information that the attacker can get their hands on ultimately fuels scamming, cybercrime, and espionage when combined and reconciled with the larger corpus of personal data that has been compiled by bad actors over the years. So pretty much this is what can lead to credential stuffing. If they have your email address, for instance, they can start trying to pair that with other breaches. And let's say they add the email address to one database, and then they have another database of other data, and they try to do a match to see if they can find your password, your date of birth, your driver's license number. Things like that is what they can do to try to cross-reference and get closer and closer to being able to access your data, being able to take advantage of you, which is very, very unfortunate, right? It's really sad to see that this is happening, but as technology evolves, and that's the thing, right? With technology, it's not good or bad; it's indifferent. It's the way that people will decide to use it that will cause us such massive headaches. All right. Let's finish it up. It says each data breach is a puzzle piece, and we know that the bad guys and specific nations are also collecting this data. Fowler says, when numerous breaches are combined in a systematic, organized, and searchable way, they can provide a complete picture and data profile of individual citizens, which is just what I was saying, right? So this really sucks to see, but hopefully, like people are closely monitoring their credit, and that they are being astute. And because for me, I always like to check on my score, check on my report, making sure new things aren't being added, so that we can stay protected. We can stay protected. I'm not sure what's going to come of this. We have to keep a close eye on this. So with that being said, let's go back to full screen. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you found this helpful and informative. I'm not sure if you've heard about this data breach yet. It just got brought to my attention like recently. But we're going to keep a very, very close eye on this, because this is, we talk about a lot about QA, a lot about cybersecurity, a lot about the economy here. And we just have to make sure that we are being very, very careful. We don't want to fall victim to these breaches. And, so gotta be careful. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a big favor. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, help us grow, help us get the word out, share the channel, share the video, all that good stuff. And like I said earlier, if you haven't done so already, go over to techcoachralph.dev. You can sign up for free, get access to our sprint reviews. I'm going to be uploading every 2 weeks. I'm going to be uploading our latest sprint review, our latest Scrum Night, so you can see what we're actually working on. Even if you don't join, you have a good idea of the way that things work in an agile environment, in case you are looking to be in tech, or in case you're in tech and you're looking for better strategies on how to run things. And you can also sign up for the Patreon, get access to all of our exclusive Patreon videos. And you can even sign up for one-on-one coaching with me, where I can help you get to the skill level and the mindset level that you need, so that you can land that next role, or even grow in your current role, grow at your current company. I'm here for you. Check it out, techcoachralph.dev. With that being said, we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is another episode of The Bug Bite, hosted by your shooty tech coach, Ralph. We are out.